Hola amigos, we back and we're here with an emotional race down at Eastern Creek. Before I do get started, I do want to say if you do enjoy the videos that I make, please definitely subscribe, like and share those videos around so other people can also enjoy those videos too. Pretty simple, just a few clicks and clicks, easy as that. Now, yeah, I don't want to get too emotional with this one, but it was bad. Like it was bad in so many ways. I was so keen on the weekend as well. I went down to Eastern Creek with my partner. We had a good time out Saturday night. Like I didn't have any money for the weekend. I didn't have any more money to spend for the weekend, so I was ideally hoping that, which is a high hope in the first place, but I was really hoping that I could go through this weekend without any damages, because I had a double header, so I have to be up at Manning Valley this weekend, so I really didn't need any excess money, or I don't know exact terminology, but I didn't need to spend any more money. And I lasted, one person's already spun off there, so we've already gone up a position, but I lasted 2 corners before, I can't really say someone took me out. There was a few driver errors and I just couldn't avoid those people's spins. So Saturday we got down to Eastern Creek. It was raining. I set my card up for rain, ideally, because the weather app was saying, look, this is how it's going to be. And then come Sunday morning, it was pretty all dry. Like you can see there's a few wet patches here and there, but everyone's running slick setup, so was I. Had a bit of a carby session, and ideally that's all I had to go on. So the setup that I have gear ratio wise isn't ideal. Now you can see here that I'm already so far behind. These people like to jump start the starts. Like people they're so far ahead of me, and this is where it all goes wrong. So it's very quick. So I try to avoid 92, and then 18 just spins out of nowhere, and I get on the rear of 18. So you'll have to go back and replay it. If you can replay it in slow motion, you can. I'm not really good with technology. I can't do that myself. But I didn't have a poor start. I just wasn't on top of the speeds that they were doing to start. And all the other classes were bad with it. They all jump start. They all jump the start. So they're all throttling on way too early before the light even turns green, and that's a jump start, a jumping of the start, which I did in Newcastle, and I got a scolding for it. But these guys down here, they just as soon as they turn that corner, they already start throttling, and the light hasn't even turned green. So I didn't get on top of that, and that's why I was a car length behind already. If I was right up the rear of 88, I probably would have maybe got out of that pretty free. But yeah, I was a bit too far behind on the start. 92 for some reason came to the outside, and that's where you could see there was about 3 other karts that were just hitting each other's rear, and that's what caused them to spin. And then 92, I think he slowed down and slightly spun, and I just tried to go to the left. I couldn't go to the left fast enough, and I've gone underneath his rear, and by the time, I was still turning left to get out of his rear. If I started turning right, I've had a little bit of a spin here. If I started turning right, I would have stayed underneath him, and I just would have stopped, or I would have struggled to get out of that position. So I had to keep turning left, and then 18 spins right in front of me. So by the time I got out from underneath of 92, 18 was right there. So I was starting to turn right, but there was a little bit of a gap there. I could have probably got through it maybe if I slowed down. That's another thing. If I slowed down, I would have still stayed underneath 92. It was really tough, and I'm struggling so much right now because my steering wheel is 90 degrees to the right. So my car is going straight, my steering wheel is 90 degrees to the right. I'm fighting against my car to turn lefts. I can't turn lefts at all, and every left there's almost an immediately and with every left there's almost an immediate right. So I'm struggling, and I'm putting all my force into the steering wheel to turn it left, and then there's a right straight away. So when I turn right, it has so much of a reaction, it just turns straight away. Like, it's really hard to explain, but I'm forcing it to turn left, and then I could literally release the steering wheel and it would just shoot straight to the right without me steering to the right. It was so difficult. I was off pace. I was 2 seconds off pace. Like, that's a lot. But I literally couldn't do anything. I'm way too high in gear ratio as well, which I knew I would be. I set it a little bit higher because even though I knew this track was fast, I wasn't still confident with myself on the lines and braking and throttling. I won't talk this next lap, and you'll hear it. I let off way too early here. I'm letting off way too early. Actually, I should have stopped talking earlier on because I think I'm starting to get a bit confident here, but I'll stop talking this lap. Alright, so I should have let you listen to the first few laps. I started getting a bit more confident here, but you can see that they're all pulling away from me on the straights. So a little bit here, a little bit on this straight coming up, and a little bit on the other straight going down. So this straight here, they all pull away from me. So if I didn't have these damages, they still would have pulled away from me, but I probably would have been a bit more. And I was here, I should be pretty much flat out. Coming down, I should be flat out, brake. But I was letting off the throttle. I just wasn't confident, and I was struggling because of the damage. If I didn't have the damage, I might. And get this, oh my god, the two people that the two people that I couldn't avoid in the first spin were the two people that just spun then. Like, oh my god. I got lucky on that one on the last lap. 3 people spun off. If I didn't have that accident at the start, I was in 6th. I probably could have got maybe. I still was slower than everyone because of my gear ratio. I needed to be down. I needed to take about 5 teeth off, and I would have been a little bit more in a comfortable gear ratio to take the straights. So that's the end of the race. It was so emotional. So I got, when we got into the pits, I got furious, and I just was just speaking my emotions out loud. I checked to see how much the damages would cost. I couldn't afford it. And then we got back to my pit area. I cried. I said to my partner, look, I think we're packing up and leaving. I called up a race buddy. He suggested me what he would do. I listened. I thought about it. I pulled the cart apart. Couldn't do it. I cried. Said to my partner, look, we're packing up, and I've got to sell because I'm just not mechanically knowledgeable enough. So I got really, really down. The trip home, I cried. Like, it was just so bad. But that was it. Pretty quick. Thanks for staying tuned. Please, yeah, once again, subscribe, like and share if you do enjoy the videos, and Manning Valley is going to be up next week. Yeah, that's all I could do, sorry. Peace.